issues facing the world today, they seem too big, too global, and too systemic for us to do anything about it as individuals. But today, I want to show you that your actions and words matter so much more than you realize, and that you absolutely can do something individually about the global issues facing the world today. Is it overwhelming to think about climate change? Absolutely. But we cannot change what we refuse to confront. The good news is, transformative solutions exist. Nature wants to thrive, and humans are absolutely brilliant and can create incredible things. Even at the individual level, you never know the true impact of the seeds that you plant with your everyday actions and your words. I'd like to start with a personal story of the day that I myself realized this. How our actions and our words reverberate in ways that we cannot imagine. So one of my dreams when I was little was to be a cashier at a supermarket. I used to play this game called Mavis Beacon Typing Skills, and I got obsessed with the idea of working at a cashier. The small dreams of childhood. But still, I eventually succeeded at this dream. And one day, I was working, and this lady came by with her little son. And he was a dapper little guy. He had a bow tie on. He was so cute. She asked me how I was, and I decided to be very honest in that moment. And I said, you know what? I just had lunch. The cookies in the bakery are phenomenal, but I ate too many of them, and now I don't feel very good. And she said, oh no, hope you feel better. And I was like, yeah, I know, me too. I just have to learn some self-control. She moved on. 2 months later, she shows up again, and she comes to my till, and she says, Wendy, I don't know if you remember me, but I just wanted to thank you. Because that day when you said that you weren't feeling good, it really had an impact on my son. So now, after dinner, when I ask him if he wants an extra cookie, he says, no, thank you, I don't want to feel ill. And so it was just one of these moments that you never know. You just never know how your actions impact other people. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Now, I want to talk about the 3 main issues of climate change. 1, emissions from fossil fuel burning carbon dioxide that is accumulating in the atmosphere. 2, deforestation. The cutting down of trees decreases the amount of carbon that we sink back onto the earth. And 3, overconsumption. All materials come from the earth. Before I dive in, I want to talk about a little caveat. Here we are looking for progress, not perfection. It is unrealistic to think that we can do everything at once perfectly. This is a journey to reach a level where we feel good about ourselves and our impact on the planet. We must have humility and compassion for others and ourselves in this journey. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be good. Emissions largely from transportation, the burning of fossil fuels, gas and oil, and agriculture. Deforestation is a double whammy of that because it has a feedback loop attached to it. So not only does removing trees increase the emissions, it also decreases the planet's ability to sink carbon back into the ground, which kind of enhances the greenhouse effect twice. Deforestation is also related to agriculture because we need to cut down forests in order to make space for human expansion, agricultural land, and cow farming. And 3, overconsumption. All materials from everything that we have comes from Earth. Our current economic system externalizes a lot of costs from both society and nature, and it's very focused on short-term profit-based numbers. So the deregulation required for all of these items to be produced fast and cheap basically exploit the planet and people. So when we look at these 3 things, they seem very big and very out of our control, but there are 8 billion people in the world, and we can absolutely use the power of our voice and our wallet to enact change at the foundational level. If you want to use your individual power to address emissions, just reduce the amount of oil and gas that you burn. Shop locally so that you reduce your reliance on the global transport chain that is related to online shopping. Use public transit so that you don't use your car as much, and visit your local parks instead of traveling somewhere that you don't need to. There is beauty everywhere that you look, even in your local areas. If you want to do something about our number 2, deforestation, you can do that in 2 ways. You can restore nature yourself by planting trees or planting natives in your green space, in your garden, in your balcony. That way, you will help reduce emissions and support biodiversity in your area. I also recommend learning from the indigenous people in your area because their kin-centric view of the world, where everything is interconnected and interdependent, really changes the way that you look at nature. And the second way that you can reduce deforestation is reducing the agricultural demand. A lot of the agriculture in North America is diverted from humans to animals. Our factory farming industry is very prolific. So if you want to decrease the amount of the agriculture that goes into deforestation, all you have to do is decrease the demand of meat, have a more plant-based diet that is locally sourced, get to know your local farmers and see what grows in season in your area. I know this is a very contentious topic that requires a lot of nuance, but again, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be good. Number 3 is a big one, overconsumption. We have actually consumed more in the last decades than we had in centuries before us. Through the advent of all of these amazing technologies that we've produced and the convenience of our online shopping, we have managed to drain the planet dry, essentially. So, being conscious of that is step number 1. But other things that you can do: reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose. Be creative and reduce your waste in any way you can. Slow down. Reconnect with yourself, reconnect with nature, do things like meditate, yoga, exercise outside. Spend time with family and community. Give yourself time to think about the things that you really need and the things that you don't really need. It takes a little bit of time to go from consumption to creation. But remember in the pandemic when nature was healing? Remember how we all went home and spent more time with our friends and family, and we all started learning how to bake bread? Everyone had their special sourdough recipe. Remember that? It is difficult to change your habits, but it really is not impossible. And our biological body really wants to engage more with community and engage with nature. So once you break the habit of consuming and you start creating instead, very rapidly you create a huge love for it. Once you have all of those down, if you really like this mission, you can go for bonus points for amplification, which is basically engaging with your governance. Make sure that these changes are known by the people that make the rules so that the rules make it easier for these actions to be done. This kind of attitude matters now more than ever because the world is desperate for a change. Also, practice gratitude and compassion. Put yourself in the shoes of the people in society that are the most vulnerable, the homeless, the elderly, the children. How would your environment need to change to accommodate for these people? If they thrive, you thrive, and society thrives. The rising tide raises all boats. And also, have compassion for yourself. There are many things instilled in ourselves and society that form our thoughts and our habits, and they come from a way of being that is being forced to change now. The journey is long and mistakes will happen, so be kind to yourself. As long as you're doing your best with what you have, you are following the path of goodness, and you will get there. So that is basically it. The 3 main issues and things that you can do individually that have a super huge amplifying effect, especially if you go for the bonus points. So thank you for watching until the end. I really look forward to stepping into the bright future that we will create together.